welcome back to another episode of the Unfinished TBR. We are back at it. I'm Hannah.
I'm Allie.
I'm Casey.
And today we are going over the worst of 2024. We're a little bit behind because I've been dreading this. Obviously looking forward to, ripping books apart, but
not looking to yuck anybody's yum either, though.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of hurting the author's feelings.
Oh, we're so small, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
They're going to be laughing at our opinion on their stacks of cash
right.
that they made off of us reading them.
Exactly.
I still don't like to hurt anybody's feelings.
Bless your heart.
We have no qualms hurting yours. It's fine.
Yeah. Get used to it, Ellie. Come on.
All right. Somebody say something mean to me so I'm ready. Just keep saying mean things to me and I'll be like, you know what?
Naturally.
Yeah, I can't think of anything right now.
Hey, say something dumb. You're really good at it. There you go.
There it was.
You feel better?
There it was. Now we're mad. Now we're ready to talk about it. All right. Oh, one other thing. Technically, when this comes out. Okay, today is February 22nd.
Yes.
When this comes out, we will have been doing this for 6 months now. Yes!
Y'all are just,
6 months.
I'm just glad I'm still friends with you.
Honestly.
I figured you guys would be tired of me by now. So, 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big accomplishment.
That's a lot of talking and then
Yes.
thinking after that for you all to not get mad at something that I've said. Because sometimes I just talk and then I think about it later and I'm like, probably shouldn't have said that.
And then we get to replay it.
Yes.
over and over and zoom in on your
always
face.
Like, what did I say? That was so bad. That probably got cut from the episode. But Hannah watched it 18 times.
I love you guys regardless. See?
Love you
See,
all
this
too.
is real.
She looks down because it's not true.
No, it is.
She did look down and to the left.
I get. What does that mean?
It means you're lying.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not lying.
You
I
would
love
tell.
you guys so much. Like, I don't
I love you guys
I love
much.
Don't move your eyes. Don't move your eyes.
I'm just awkward, okay? I have a little bit of the tism, and I just can't look people in the eye.
Just a touch of it. A touch of it.
It's just a little
That
sprinkle.
comedian.
Let's go ahead and get started with this. So, I do have what I called dishonorable mention.
Okay.
Dishonorable mention. I like that.
Yes, because just like the last one, I made my list.
It took me a hot minute to come up with 5.
It did.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good if it's hard to come up with
Yes.
5. I came
Hannah's
up with
just a
6.
hater.
Though. I am.
I did come up with 6.
There were more, but Matt told me to calm down.
He was like, honey, you're going to be there all day. I mean. All right. So my dishonorable mention is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. I think we talked about that
Aunt
one.
Sherry.
Yes, that was.
Aunt Sherry, don't watch this.
I'm so sorry, Aunt Sherry, and all of your book club friends, but it wasn't for me.
Okay.
That was the one that he was hot until he was hot.
Him and his son.
Yeah, until they both acted like children.
Well,
and on
the
top
son.
of that, I don't know if I told you this, but he called one of his pet names for her was Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
As in Buddy the elf.
That's same vibe.
All right, so did you guys have any dishonorable mentions?
I did not. I'm with Allie. I
What?
struggled to find
I got
5
some.
that were just bad, honestly.
Good.
So this is not a worst of 2024 is not going to just be a roast the whole time. There'll be some roasting happening.
I'm proud of you for that. I'm happy for you for that.
It'll 1/3 be a roast and 2/3 be just, moderate disappointment.
Because I had some trash.
We've seen Hannah when she's like 3 stars though. So
None of these are even 3 stars.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and warn you on that.
Wow.
But, all right, who wants to start?
Allie.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I had the X Hex. My number 5 is the X.
X Hex.
Yes. So I thought it was going to be cute and cheesy. It was like, so
Sounds like kind of witchy.
yes. So let me read the synopsis because
Yes.
I haven't talked about it.
When did you read this?
I DNF'd it
Ah.
in November. It was right after Halloween.
Yeah.
I was still in my witchy, and like I wanted
Right.
a cozy witchy. Turns out I'm not a cozy witchy type of gal.
I gotcha.
You know?
I'm with
I
you.
gotcha. Just didn't scratch that itch for you.
Yeah. So this is the X Hex by Aaron Sterling.
Let me see the cover real quick.
Okay.
I agree.
Because
It's cute.
I
It's
think I've
cute.
seen it.
Well, she probably mentioned it, and you probably put it up there. Oh, very.
Yes.
No, not I Dream of Jeannie. Who am I thinking of? Bewitched.
Yes.
The old show.
Yes.
It looks very bewitched.
It's cute. But
That's what I wanted.
right.
But I don't know if I just wasn't in the.
You just thought you were in the mood and you weren't actually, or maybe that one just wasn't
Maybe that one just wasn't it.
wasn't
I
it.
just
Yeah. All
Now,
right, let's
this
hear the
one,
synopsis.
I was about to say, I don't think we've said the synopsis
Yeah.
for
No.
this.
No.
Go for it.
It's 9 years ago, Vivian Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. Sure, Vivi knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchard hayrod scented candle on hand, she isn't worried it will cause him anything more than a bad hair day or two. That is, until Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts, and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Graves Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall festival turns disastrously wrong. With one calamity after another striking Reese, Vivi realizes her silly little ex-hex may not have been so harmless after all. Suddenly, Graves Glen is under attack from murderous wind-up toys, a pissed-off ghost, and a talking cat with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Reese have to ignore their off-the-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. And it sounds cute.
Yes.
Maybe I just wasn't into it.
Right.
I don't
right.
know.
That's a possibility.
It was
There's
like,
a lot of, which we've talked about this a little bit. There's a lot of like perfect scenarios and like there are so many things that have to line up for a book to hit
yeah.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that might be one of those books. So
Yeah. But just wasn't
how long
for
of a
me.
book was it?
It wasn't long, I don't think. I listened to it. I got it immediately on Libby. And
That's always a concerning sign that there's not at least a week wait.
right. 320 pages.
Oh, that's not bad at
No.
all.
You didn't waste a lot of time
No,
on it at least.
thank
No.
goodness.
What did you rate it star wise?
I didn't rate it because I
you
didn't
didn't
finish
finish
it.
Okay, what the part that you've read, if you could just star that. Obviously not a 5, but
Oh, I hate
So,
giving
like,
out twos.
a 2. It's not just a book that you read. It's
Yeah,
kind of like a disappointment a little
Yeah,
bit.
I think I would talk about this more than
Yeah.
a 3-star, honestly, because
gotcha.
I'd be like, couldn't get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
How far did you get into it?
I honestly can't remember. I know it was over halfway, and I was
Okay.
like, I got another book, and I was like, thank God.
Right.
Just like I was pushing through it, you know,
Right.
I was pushing through it, and then another book popped up, and I was like, Jesus, thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
it's a sign.
So yeah, that is my number 5.
All right, Casey, what's your number 5?
Y'all are gonna be mad at me. I don't want to say
Pumpkin spice cafe.
no. It's worse for you all. November 9th by Colleen Hoover.
That is worse.
You're a turd.
It made me so irrationally mad to see how that played out.
I gotcha.
I just could not get behind her taking him and like just I don't know. Maybe that's a spoiler. Probably should cut me a little bit there, but
I don't think you said anything
No.
spoilerish.
nice.
I don't think you said anything.
Did you say anything at all? Did you?
That's
said-
how I
she
felt
said,
at the end of the
you know,
book.
I
You said a
gotcha.
bunch of nothing by the end of it.
I gotcha.
What did anything matter?
Right.
No. I just don't
so
feel
cute.
He is.
I just don't feel like the things that happened could be forgiven as simply as they were.
Right.
It just seems so unrealistic. I'm like, no. You don't have to go full-fledged tit for tat with him, but you can dump him.
Hate
Now,
on
I will
something
say,
with me.
November 9th is not like, this is why I was like, it's not going to be a hater show completely. I gave it 3 stars, and it could be tied with the next 2
Right.
that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was all that horrible. I just thought it was so far out of bounds, unrealistic, that you lost me. That I was like, this could have totally went a different way if you had like 400 more pages.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I don't know. There could have been some forgiveness happening, but
Not that quick.
no, the way she did it, she just left too much unanswered for me to feel like that was the end.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Burn
Which
it.
we've also
Burn the manuscript.
Burn the manuscript.
we've talked about that too. Or I would have forgiven him that quickly. Probably a little quicker.
You would have?
Yes. Yeah. Was that
Lord.
all you had on November 9th?
Yes. I'm just glad you all didn't eat me.
No. We've still got 4 more to go, so there's still an opportunity. All right, so
Hannah.
my number 5 was The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I read that one in September. It was a very quick read, so that's nice. It's on the September reading debrief, my full breakdown of it, but mainly I just didn't get it.
And I
I think-
mentioned it in Welcome to No
It was the back to
Back
school
to School.
episode.
Back to School.
Yes,
Yep.
that is actually why
Yes.
I tried it.
It was a high school read for me.
Yes.
So
By
by force, it was a school book.
right.
Um,
I didn't get it. But at the same time, I don't know what I was expecting.
yeah.
You know, like there's some of these I know what I was expecting whenever I started them, and they just didn't fulfill that. This one, I don't know what I was expecting, but it didn't fulfill whatever that is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I can't give it too much hate. It was just a little lackluster.
It was definitely somebody assigned me this kind
Right.
of book.
Well, I don't understand why it's considered a classic. Like, that part didn't make sense to me. Which
I'll see if I can find my essays on it.
law?
The 2025 the worst of 2025 at the end of this year is going to be the essays.
We were forced to read these by the teacher in our group.
long. All right, so I gave it 2 out of 5. It does have a 3.99 overall, so maybe it's just
Most
for people that are
likes.
smarter than me and can figure it out. So I'm not
It
hating.
is
If
very
you
dark, so I mean, it's a lot to have to overcome
see, I didn't
to
even
try
find it
to
that dark.
find a point.
I didn't really find it that dark. I found it just boring.
Really?
Yeah, they were
them
just walking
birthing
around.
babies to eat them wasn't a little dark.
I mean, yeah, that part's dark, but it's like
You found that boring?
that it's like that scene was seen through almost like a telescope. Like it was
Yeah.
far enough away to where it was like, okay, yeah, that's happening and that's weird, but we're not directly in it. They're not like actively trying to steal this guy's child, you know?
No, he's running from them so they don't find him.
Well, yeah, but he never gets caught. There's never a fight to get out and truly survive. You know, it's
Yeah.
just we got away, which feels a little lackluster. I don't know.
She got away.
I don't know that one. But that was a sick run.
Thank you.
So yeah, for anybody who liked it, I'm not hating. I'm just not smart. So I'm glad you got it because I did not. All right, so that was my number 5. Anywho, so what's your number 4, Allie?
Normal People by Sally Rooney.
Oh.
I respect that choice. I respect that
So,
choice. Just a little.
It was a 3.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this so many times. If you haven't heard the synopsis,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you?
Yeah. This has to be like your
Literally.
first time
Just
with
start
us.
clicking back through episodes. It's in there.
You'll
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
think
back there. First one was
for-
end of October.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the October debrief, right? So, I read it in October. You read it in December.
Yes.
And then you read it in January.
Yep.
Can
No.
we all...
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. January?
Yes, no, yes, no, yes,
Yes.
no.
Yes, yes, maybe. The ending made me so mad.
Yeah.
And then hearing you all talk about the other things kind of added on.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Like things that you didn't think about at the time.
Right.
But then we noticed, we brought out, and you were like, you know what?
You know what? Yeah.
I'm more upset than when I started.
So like whenever I finished the book and I was first talking about it, it was like, it was okay. Like I liked the storyline following their love throughout.
Right.
Like all this thing.
Yeah.
You know.
They're growing as people.
Right.
And you get all that.
Yeah. And then I was like, but I hated the ending because it was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need something else.
Right.
I need something else. Even if you all decide to break up, I need something.
Right. Some kind of clarification that, yes, this is what we decided to do from this situation.
Yes.
Not
I've been trying to process that book in post, even after disliking it. I gave it a 3. It was just unmemorable.
That's how I was.
For the most part. So it didn't crack this list for me just because it was so neutral by the end.
Right.
I don't know. Is it just supposed to be a commentary on the fact that normal people don't learn the lesson?
I don't know.
Is that it?
I don't know.
It's possible.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like there was no there was no life lessons involved.
No.
Like I know you're not a fan of The Measure. The Measure better not be on this freaking list.
It's not.
Thank you.
I'll be over here like, is it?
It is not.
She said it's not.
That's the one you guys would rip me apart for.
So I know you're not a fan of The Measure, but there is like a life lesson in that.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, I can agree with that.
Normal people doesn't even have that.
Besides,
Which sounds like the worst grammatically incorrect sentence. And I don't think it's incorrect. Normal people doesn't have that.
Yeah.
But
well,
whatever
it's
you-
because,
yeah.
it is the title, so that is correct.
Yeah.
But it does, I'm sure that feels weird.
It
though.
feels weird. It feels weird.
I'm in my brain's like inserting the book instead of the title. I'm like, I mean, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I the only lesson I can think of is that, get away from abusive people.
Yeah.
Like but she doesn't learn that the whole time.
I just feel like with the title, it's got to be the fact that normal people don't learn.
Right.
So, yeah. Normal people, Sally Rooney.
I respect
4.
you putting
I'm
that
so
on that list.
sorry, Sally Rooney, but it sounds like I'm not going to give the rest of your books a shot.
Yeah.
You have all these accolades. Go
Yeah,
sit in
not
your
for
nice
me.
little townhouse
Yes.
with all your money
Yes.
and know that a girl from small town Tennessee doesn't agree with you.
Right. 3 girls from small town Tennessee. Yep. But, all right. What's your number 4, Casey?
All right. This number 4 is Enemies with Benefits by
Really?
Roxy Noir.
We had that on the very first debrief.
It was another 3. Again, all of the 5, 4, and 3 for my list could tie.
Okay.
Right.
So it's splitting hairs to put it at 4. It had a lot of potential. I think it made it worse that I felt there was so much potential for a great story here.
That just
and
fell flat.
there were storylines that were left unfinished with their specific plot. Like, don't get me wrong, there are storylines because this is supposed to be a series
Right.
that have to be left unfinished.
Yeah.
But there were plot points that were left unfinished. The bad guy doesn't feel all that bad except for maybe like one moment. And it's even kind of not even explained. And then at the very end, when I was like, maybe this could just go down as neutral, they leaned into every trope you could possibly think of in a Hallmark movie. I was just glad she wasn't pregnant at the end. Thank God. I don't know. I might have exploded.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
It really is. It really is.
'Cause
Now
you
I'm
would think.
questioning, did they have pregnancy then?
Let's hope not.
Yeah, it just leaned into so much Hallmarky. And it was supposed to be semi-Hallmarky. And I was in a Hallmarky mood when I read it.
But not that.
It was
much.
so sudden.
I gotcha.
And then there were so many. And then I'm supposed to read more books? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
more, it's
that's-
on the neutral. It's a 3. You know, it's a book. I read it. You might like it. I just felt there was a lot left to be desired.
Yeah. That's kind of how some of that Dream Harbor series felt for me.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just not our cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
This was a free Stuff Your Kindle day for me, though.
Hey, so at least you're not out any money.
Exactly. Didn't lose any money
Yeah.
there. Give that author some exposure. I gave you a 3 anyways.
Yeah.
So.
You're welcome.
Exactly. No, they're probably
Yes.
better off than me.
Law. All right. So my number 4 was A Christmas Ghost Story by Kim Newman.
Yeah.
That's the one I read in November. It was a very quick read. This is another one that was a really quick read, and thank God, because I was done with it. This is one I knew what I was expecting going in, and it did not fulfill that. It didn't even come close.
So what were your expectations then?
My expectations, A Christmas Ghost Story. I was expecting something along the lines of some kind of haunting, some kind of, like a Krampus type thing, which there was like a Krampus type character, but it was just the way she brought it in was weird. He had that seed that he ate and started to grow like a tree inside of him, and like his mom had the unresolved trauma from her past, and
Whose moms don't?
Well,
this is true.
Our
it's
parents grew up in the 70s and
Yeah.
80s. So
everyone's traumatized.
Yes.
And if
Have
they
you
weren't, they were kidnapped to make up for it.
So yeah, it was just it just fell flat. It wasn't what I was expecting, and which might have been partially my fault, but at the same time, what I will say, it's only a 2.93 overall.
So it seems a lot of people agreed.
Yes. I gave it a 2, and I think it was just incorrect marketing, a little bit scattered for a lot of people is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So you hate to see it. I did just go and research her a little bit, and she has got a library of books that she's wrote.
Yeah.
Like it like I kept scrolling, and I know there's a couple that, it mentions on the cover of this one about the author of such and such, the author of such and such. And so maybe those were her good ones, but I don't know.
You might give her a second try if it's one of her.
If
You're
it's
gonna have
one
to look
of
at the
those.
reviews that are
exactly. Because I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of books to just be pushing out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe she's just I don't know how old she is or anything. So maybe it's just
because
a
you do
length of
worry
time thing.
it could be quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
Or
so,
everybody's gonna have their flop era for a little bit. It could just be the one that didn't hit.
Right. So I might give her another shot, just not with I wouldn't recommend this one to anybody at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, during the little bit of research that I did discover that it was written October 8th of 2024. And I read it like a month and a half after that.
Yeah.
So I caught that one surprisingly quickly. I was very early to that one. It only had 326 ratings on Goodreads at that. So the fact that it was 2.93 with only that many ratings.
Yeah.
That kind of
good for that book.
That kind of tells you. So, all right. What's your number 3, Allie?
So, I have already talked about this one, but I don't remember reading the synopsis. It's Misery. It is Bride by Allie Hazelwood.
Yes.
It was just misery to you to read.
So, the main character's name is Misery.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn.
And it's her parents. Yeah.
I'm marrying Misery. Misery, I love you.
Misery loves company.
Misery, I would die for you. Like, these are just, I don't know if I could love someone with that name. I'd have to give them a pet name.
I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis because
Yes.
I really do not remember.
I don't think you did.
We
It was the
didn't read it. It was the
first-
very first one. We didn't read the synopsis.
Yeah.
Then.
So, Misery Lark, the only daughter of the most powerful vampire councilman of the Southwest, is an outcast again. Her days of living in anonymity among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold a historic peacekeeping alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares. And she sees little choice but to surrender herself in the exchange again. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Moreland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice, and unlike the Vampire Council, not without feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her, if only he knew how right he was. Because Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience. Reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. And she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers, even if it means a life alone in weird territory, alone with the wolf. So, I think I gave this a 3, and I don't remember talking bad about this book.
No.
And I'm pretty sure this is another normal people situation. Because
Gotcha.
something happens in this book that I was like, oh, cool. And just went on about my day. And then a couple months later, I see a TikTok about it. And then a couple weeks after that, I see another TikTok about it. And a couple weeks after that, I see another one. I'm like, that was very weird.
I gotcha.
He's a werewolf, right?
Yeah, obviously.
So when and it's a Allie Hazelwood book, so there's always a little sex scene.
Right.
He knots like a dog whenever he gets off.
Knots? What is knots?
So I'm pretty sure. I do not know. I do not know for certain. But let me look it up.
He knots like a dog?
Yeah.
His pee swells up
On the end to keep it in place.
He read rockets?
Yep.
to keep it in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be Googling this.
No
one
severely-
judge my search history.
I'm severely uncomfortable.
And that is strange.
How do I look it up?
Did that not cross your mind
No.
while you were reading it?
No.
Is that what you're telling us?
I remember hearing it. I was getting in the shower during this scene, and he like comes to her and he's like, I gotta be honest, like while they're doing it, he's like, I don't want to finish because, and she goes, the knot. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, weird. Cool. Anyway, I just went on about my day. Didn't think twice about it. I was like, huh. And then, I see all these TikToks and I was like, wait a second. That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm speechless.
that is strange.
That's very strange. You definitely didn't talk about that in the first episode.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
We talked about, I do remember slightly, you said that it's like set in modern.
Yeah.
So instead of
It's
a normal fantasy.
Yeah.
It's in modern times.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a marriage of convenience to get the vampires and the werewolves to get along
On
But
speaking terms. Oh, God.
Casey looks like she's about to cry.
You do.
At this point, Casey went down a rabbit hole researching what knotting means. Here's how we feel about the information she shared.
The knot is like a racquetball size bulge near the root of the dog's. Oh my God.
Why would you?
No.
Please cut that.
What?
Yes.
Look at me. Never say that again.
I
I
just
was
can't.
disturbed.
What? Yeah.
Oh, gosh. But still. Oh, my God. Come on.
And I hate this. Oh, Lord. I don't feel good. And then he goes on a rant about how mad he is about people who spray their dogs when they're stuck.
Oh no, I didn't think about that. So yeah, that is my number 3. Number 3.
Just know that get knotted is a British colloquial expression. If you think I'm going to pay for that horrible food, you can get knotted. Basically, go F yourself is their version
Get
of
effed.
saying it.
Yeah, get effed.
That's
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
That's creative of them.
Yeah.
I respect it.
The first
I
video.
disrespect it.
All right, Casey.
We
What
do
is your-
have pretty good.
Oh God, I have to follow up that.
I know.
I forgot we were even here for a
Forgot
minute.
what we were doing.
What number are we on? Number three?
Yeah.
Again, could be neutral with the other two. They could all be replaceable. Okay, so my number 3 is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. And if you would like to learn more about my hatred of that,
We actually had that.
we have a
as
whole
book
video.
club.
Just go back. It's called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I came with notes. I was ready.
Oh yeah, you were ready to bash that book.
There was so much wrong. There were so many plot holes. So many things just flew through. I gave it 3 stars because you came exactly what you knew you were going to get. It's a Hallmark style book.
It's just too.
It could have
much.
been done better. I'm mad.
Don't bother with the rest of the series then. If you're mad about that one, it only
You
goes
know,
downhill from
when
there.
I lost my library card and had to renew all my Libby holds, I just didn't renew any of those.
I don't blame you. I really don't.
If it doesn't get better,
It doesn't. I had such high hopes for it to get better too.
Yeah.
So I understand you putting this one on your worst of 2024.
yeah, and honestly, maybe it could be the only one that really deserves the 3 spot
I gotcha.
fully.
Yeah, I agree.
Understood. I thought you liked it. You gave it 4.5.
Based off
lady.
of what you all say, I agree with her. What she said.
That she sees why it would be,
Yeah.
it would be my
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
If she
Okay.
felt that way.
I was about to say,
it was good.
dude.
I thought it was cute. Other than the white eyebrows, I thought it was cute.
It was a book. I read it.
It had a plot
Several
line.
of them.
Yeah, I read the others just to see, and I shouldn't have. So I get it.
Not my cup of tea.
Yep. You know what?
But
Maybe
I hate on it in that video. Just go back, watch that
Right,
one.
right.
We're not getting me off on that
Pumpkin
tangent today.
Spice Cafe Book,
Book
Club.
Club.
November.
It was November.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so my number 3 was The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Again,
Fantastic TV show.
yeah, great TV show.
Fantastic.
Don't go into the book expecting the TV show though, because I think that's what got me. Because I read it, we watched it. I think 2 Halloweens ago, maybe 3, on Netflix. It was great. So I've had time since the TV show, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna give it a shot. Why not? I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I did
My
talk about it.
mother-in-law also did not like it.
I talked about it on the December reading debrief if you want the full rundown of it. But it was just super underwhelming. There was the one creepy scene and that was it.
Oh.
And
That's kind of disappointing. In
It is.
a haunting book.
Yes.
I expect to be scared. I want to kind of tinkle a little. I want to have to sleep with a nightlight on. I don't read the tinkle. I got me scared.
Skilled.
Right. Yeah, so I gave this one a 2 out of 5. It's 3.82 overall. Maybe it's another one of those because it's it's set in.
I yanked my headphones off my head.
It was in the 1949, 1950 or whenever it was published. So maybe it's one of those classics that like if you like it, you like it.
I thought you were going to say the 1900s, and I was going to be like, stop aging us.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, 1949, 1950.
19?
I know. Yeah. But yeah. So I didn't care for it. If it's your cup of tea, way to go, but no thank you. So what's your number 2, Allie?
The Teacher by Frida McFadden.
Yep, we've talked about that
Really?
one.
Yeah,
We've talked
this
about
was
that
on
one.
this was on the hot takes
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
I read the description. So I was on maternity leave whenever I read this. I fell asleep during reading this book. Which, granted,
And it's supposed to
I
be
had
a
a
thriller,
newborn.
isn't it?
Yeah, I had a newborn, so I was
guess
like,
that's true.
I'm tired all the time.
I
you
mean, I
know?
guess that's true.
But I hated it. You will understand my number one, but this is the most hated book this year by far.
I gotcha.
It was a waste of my time.
My mom agrees.
Yeah.
She read it because
Awful.
you had talked about it, and she's like, I want to know now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And she was like, I hated it.
Yeah.
You should read it, Casey, but I hated it.
Yes. That's how normal people was for me.
Right. Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We're like, it can't be that bad. It was.
So,
Dang.
yeah. The Teacher by Frida
Was
McFadden.
that
I'm just
one a
not
very
a Frida
long-
girly.
Was that a very long book?
No, I would say it's probably around 300,
Okay.
maybe 350 pages.
Not bad though.
It's also on Kindle Unlimited if
Oh,
you want to do it for free.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm just not a Frida fan.
Mm-hmm.
I am not. I don't understand people who are Frida fans. I think that they are kind of a jump on the bandwagon type of people.
gotcha.
Because
Because
it
of the
enrages me
housemaid-
so much that there are people who enjoy Frida McFadden that it literally makes me feel a little bit of rage in my chest because I'm like,
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly. Like, we really try not to judge anybody
Right.
who has different tastes than us, but there's certain ones where it's like,
Yeah.
are you sure? I think you need to reread it to adjust your perspective on this
Yes.
book because it's so
I think you
bad.
need to give other authors just
Yes.
a chance. I feel like you haven't read anything other than Frida McFadden, so you don't know.
You don't know how much better it could possibly be. It's like it which is exactly what happened to me with Twilight and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Is I read Twilight first and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then I read Harry Potter and I was like, why did I even think
Yeah.
Twilight was the fantasy book? Harry Potter is the fantasy. So
Twilight was good.
I'm not saying it. I guess that is the difference. I guess that is the difference. I will.
There's our friendship gone.
That is the difference. Like, at least Twilight was still good. It's just I found something that was like
Yeah.
way above it. But I mean,
Twilight
the
was still
teacher,
good.
the teacher, you know, like Frida McFadden.
Yeah. No.
There's a Ruth Ware out there.
yes. Yes.
So-
there are so many
Yes.
other authors.
You know. Yes.
Now I'm going to have to make myself read one of these two books. I put them off because they're kind of spooky-esque.
They're not.
But,
They're not.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm a giant baby. They're scary to me.
They're not. I wouldn't say that they're even scary. They do get your
They're
heart
not scary.
racing, but it's
They're
more of an
scary.
action. It's more of an action.
All right. So, what was your number 2?
Number 2, The Couple Next Door by Cherie LaPena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
If
saw
I
it
can figure
coming.
it out in the first few chapters, and maybe that's just me. I gave it a 2 stars. It just seemed too
Yeah.
obvious.
Right.
I felt like it was just too clear of what was going to happen to me.
Dang. And that's
Yeah.
always disappointing.
It
'cause
is.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's going to happen. I want
the
to be
twist
surprised.
to twist me.
Yeah.
Yes. I love when I'm sitting in bed and my he watches YouTube videos while I read a lot of times before we go to sleep or anything. And I love sitting there and I'm like, and lean
Yes.
up like that. And he goes, God, could you stop reading? Those are my favorite moments.
Yes.
I never had that. I was like, hey, babe, let me throw some ideas at you, what I think's going to happen. He listens or whatever. And then it happened. He was like,
Cool.
from what you said, it seemed pretty clear. And I was like,
Right.
yeah. Okay. So it was a little less than this is a book and I read it. This was like, it was a book and I was disappointed.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Right. That's where the other
There was
number
no
2 slot in.
haterade, but
Haterade.
That's worth the number 2 slot.
Yeah,
I feel
number
like.
2.
Yeah.
scary book that didn't scare me. And
Right.
I'm scared
and
of
you're
everything.
A scared cat.
When I sleep soundly at night reading your book, you didn't do a good job at your thriller.
Got him. So my number 2 was Truly Madly Deeply by LJ Shit.
I kind of expected that to be number 1. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're going to say it and I'm going
You
to be
went
like,
on a
yeah.
22-minute rant?
It was in total 22 minutes. I cut it down to like 10 and a half for the episode. But yeah. And yes, I do still have it saved.
You
because
left out the most important part, and I need you to talk about it now.
what was it?
The taco.
No, I talked
She
about
did.
it.
My mom knew about it.
I left it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this was atrocious. This book was one of the biggest wastes of time.
Didn't your aunt
that
recommend this one?
No. This is
No,
one that I
okay.
saw. This is one that I saw all over
Yes.
TikTok and Instagram and all that fun stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot because so many people are recommending it. This is one, like we just discussed with yours, where I try not to judge what you like. But if this is one of your top rated books, try something else. I am begging you. I am begging you to try something else because it was so when I need to get angry about something, because I'm a very passive person, and so that means a lot of people like to walk over me.
You
and
would
I let
never know
them.
that by this podcast. That Anna is a passive person, but she's not wrong.
No, I genuinely I let people walk all over me all the time, especially in jobs and stuff, and it's a problem. So if I ever need to stand up for myself, I think about this book and get angry again, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to fight.
This is her rage bait.
This is my rage bait.
Do you
right now.
rewatch the 10-minute clip that you've saved?
I do
to
occasionally.
Fuel that fire.
That's why I keep it. That's why I keep it around.
It's on her desktop. It's not even like in a file, I would bet. It's just right there. Click.
It's just there. It's ready at any given time. So yeah, this one was in the September reading debrief. So if you are curious about that, go check it out. Atrocious, not worth it, absolutely horrid. Those were 3 things that I put about this book. That is
Did you
the
put them
3
in
ways.
your review?
I can't remember what I put in my review, but it was probably bad.
Go look.
I gave it 1 out of 5, but it is somehow a 3.99 overall. And that makes me...
The taco, and people still gave it 4s?
Yes.
That means this was someone's 5 probably
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Several people's 5.
With the taco?
With the taco.
It had to be a
God
Taco Bell taco.
bless. So I'm honestly disappointed in all of you people that are making this rating as high as it is.
Go back. Change your review.
Please try something else. I am begging you. Everybody's got their own tastes, but you can do so much better.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Have you seen the videos? There are reviews and TikTok videos going back to Frida McFadden, but they are they're saying Frida McFadden never misses, and I'm like, or Frida McFadden never disappoints, and I'm like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Why are you spreading misinformation
You're
like that?
You're wrong.
There's so much better out
Right.
there. I am just begging you to try something else and see if it doesn't
Yeah.
exceed Truly Madly Deeply.
Yeah.
Please.
And for Frida McFadden fans,
Yes.
and for people who want to try Frida McFadden, don't try The Housemaid first. Because
No.
The
'cause
Housemaid is
setting you-
fantastic.
yeah. That's setting you up for, she's going to be great.
Yes.
Like,
And then every other one is god awful. So,
gosh.
sorry, had to get that out.
Anyway.
Number 1.
Number
right, number one, Ellie.
Number 1. We are the champion, my friend.
Biggest Loser.
So, it's on Kindle Unlimited. Cool.
It's
What is
But
it?
it's your number 1 worst of 2024.
Yes.
Why are you so excited about this?
I gave
Other
this
people
book.
can hate it with me for free.
I gave this book. I think I gave this book a 4-star. And you all will understand.
What are we doing here?
You all,
What are we doing here? What?
but this book is no. This
4 stars.
What are
book-
we even doing
so
here?
we said the worst of 2025, right?
2024, yeah.
Yeah, 2024. Sorry. This book is the worst because it is Brother by Anya Allborn.
Okay. Okay.
It is the
so like it's
worst.
It makes you feel
Yes.
the worst.
But it is fantastic writing.
Okay.
It is- It did its job. It is.
You're taking way too many liberties with what we meant by that.
I took some artistic liberties because this
I'm
book
upset.
is. I would not suggest this to either of you all to read this. I do not want you all
Yeah.
to feel the feelings that I have.
Because it made you
But
feel
it's sitting
so
in my
bad.
house because you want my husband to read it.
It changed me as a person. It changed me. Okay.
Right.
Clearly for the worst. I mean,
But it is the worst, but it is fantastic.
I gotcha.
I don't know
gotcha.
how else to
Awful.
describe it.
4 stars.
We
literally just shared
have
this
not
last
been
week.
able to stop thinking about this book, but it is just the feelings it gives you. It is, you are filled with dread. You are filled with sorrow.
is
you are
that not
filled,
what you were going for?
but that is the feeling it gave me, where I have not had a book make me feel like this. So
I gotcha.
like
good on them for being
Good-
able to
right.
invoke those feelings that you don't.
Yes.
But it just makes you feel.
and whenever I think about it, that is the feeling I get, where I'm like, oh, like,
gotcha.
I can't believe I read that.
I gotcha.
Like I feel like this because of this book, and it is so bad, but
I gotcha.
It is.
I didn't take that approach, but I can see where you would have taken that approach
Yeah.
and that been your number one.
Yes.
Based on
I don't like you.
based on what you said about this book in the Halloween spooky book rec.
It is. Like, I have that sick feeling again. This is
Just
my
thinking about
second time talking about it,
Yeah.
just on this podcast.
Right.
And I have that sick feeling again, thinking about what happened in this book.
Okay. I'll give you a pass for that, for it being 4 stars and being your number one worst book of 24. I will give you a pass for
Yeah.
that, considering.
Quit thinking outside of the box.
I thought outside the box.
bender.
Because
Color
this is
inside the lines,
worst.
lady.
This is
back
the
in.
worst.
Get in the box.
Anya Alborn, you did. I'm never reading another book of yours again. I'm so
You
sorry.
did such a great, awful job. I
Yeah.
won't read you again.
Yes.
Yes. I will not. I cannot.
I get it.
I can't.
Right.
But it is on Kindle Unlimited. So,
You can feel awful for free as well.
yeah. I had to pay for mine. I had the physical copy. I
Right.
paid for it.
Right. You paid to feel absolutely terrible.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so mad at her.
But
I think
it
I'm going to
is
go bend the
so-
spine of that book because it's at my house.
But also, I kind of want to read it again.
Just to see if you still feel that way.
Yeah.
How long's it been?
A year.
All right. What's your number one?
The Best Way to Bury Your Husband by Alexia Casali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave it a 1 star. I've ranted about this in several episodes, starting in the October? Yeah, October reading debrief. Mentioned again in November, December. Finally finished in January. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll give you a pass since it was like just the last 30 pages that was in
Yeah.
January. I'll give you a pass. Yeah. That
Yeah, because I only finished that part. I already hated it
right
before
right.
that point. It had so much potential for me.
You should have DNF'd it.
I refuse.
When you were that close.
Yeah.
Good on you people who can DNF. I struggle.
Rob.
I want to know. I want to be able to be upset properly.
Right.
You know?
Because who knows? Maybe it fixes itself.
Yeah, it could. The last 30 pages be better. And I did get a twist at the end that I'm not going to lie, I pretty much saw it coming.
Right.
But if you didn't see it, maybe.
Gotcha.
I was looking for hating reasons though as I was reading, so I feel like I was looking for this twist.
I gotcha.
It's just a letdown for me. I'm sorry. It's also a cartoon cover, so those of you who have that stereotype that those are the worst books, it fell in that category.
You chose the right box, though. I will admit.
Yes, I stayed in the box. I colored properly.
Yes.
Sorry.
Get that crap out of here.
Sorry. Okay, I guess my real number one is The Teacher by Frida McFadden. But
If we're going off of
but
like,
if we're going
literally
off of feelings,
that's the worst one.
Yes.
But like actual reading experience,
Yes.
The Teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I give you that pass. Yeah. Yeah.
No pass.
Casey literally
Casey.
almost left.
I'm done. 4 stars. It was the worst book I read this year, though.
All right. So my number one is Crossed by Emily McIntyre.
I was about to say, but by the Hooked Girl.
Yeah. I'm currently reading Hexed.
Now, which number in order is that one? Because
This
I
is
think
number
it's Hooked, and then Scarred.
And then
Wretched.
Wretched.
and then something else that's
Hexed.
good.
No.
No, not Hexed.
Something else that's good, and then Crossed, and then Hexed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's a
So
lot
this
of
is
those.
number 5.
Okay.
Let me read the description. 'Cause
These
we've
are all
talked about it.
standalones, too. So if you do
Yes.
like some of the others, they're standalone series.
They're just
but
based
like,
off of Disney princesses.
Yeah, it's
Or
like an
like-
anthology.
Disney
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one is from best-selling author Emily McIntyre comes a dark and delicious fractured fairy tale reimagining of The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
You said dark and delicious, and I went,
Oh my God! No, the others maybe, but not this one. It's not delicious. It is very dark. It is not delicious. It's actually sickening.
I think I sickened Allie. I'm not gonna lie.
You're traumatized.
Yeah, she looked up at me and I was going,
I can't wait to edit that. Alright, so
oh my God.
Phew. He is righteousness, she is sin. Father Cade Frederick is a holy man. Brought up in the streets of Paris, he has dedicated his life to the church. But there's a monster that lingers just beneath the surface. A sickness. One that bleeds darkness and feeds on the damned. When he's tasked to become the priest in Festival, Vermont, a town both beautiful in architecture and riddled with despair, his sickness sings, demanding he rid the place of evil. Amaya Paquette is Festival's beautiful mystery. She spends her days caring for her younger brother and her nights transforming into Esmeralda, dancing for greedy eyes and shameless lips. Although she longs for love, she shies away from companionship, afraid of being abandoned again. When Father Cade lays eyes on Amaya, he finds himself ensnared, convinced she's using witchcraft to lure him to her. He can't eat, can't breathe, can't think unless it's of her. And temptation is a devastating mistress. She's his weakness, so he decides he'll be her demise, even if it means killing the only woman he might ever love.
So it's a play on the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah. With the priest and Esmeralda.
Yeah. They took a lot of liberties there.
So
yeah,
many.
I don't know why everyone, it's not the
actual
original
pairing.
couple. Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm
I
perfectly
just don't
fine
know
with
why.
that.
I just don't know why.
I think it's just where it is dark romance. It's like
She's
who
with the
fits,
villain.
It's villains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
So
oh, okay, well, she's the villain. Never mind. Because in Hexed, it's Ursula and Aaron.
Vanessa's the villain in that one. Yeah. So I read this. It was right before the podcast. It was June 25th through 26th. I talked briefly about this one in the Spectacular Book Rex episode. Not much, though. This one...
You also talked about it in a recent episode.
A little bit in... Because we talked about Scarred.
Yes,
in
yes, okay.
the
Because you were
Valentine's
saying
Day
that
Rex.
he just likes killing.
Yes. Yes. So this was my second priest romance. The first one I've always described as a stained glass window that has a terrible picture where it's like it's beautiful because it's stained glass, but man, the contents of that stained glass, ooh, you know. But it was a beautiful book. I'm not a priest romance girly. That feels weird to me. Like, I'm not Catholic or anything, but it's still like there's supposed to be
I think it's hot.
You're a weirdo. And I was hoping. I know. Dragon.
Priests are weird.
But like,
I'll never let you live that down. At least not today.
I mean, I don't blame you. But yeah, we'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about it in the debrief next week. But no, I just don't think I'm a priest girl. I tried again because I was like, maybe it was just the first book, and I liked this series a lot, you know, with Scarred and Hooked. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it another shot. Oh my God, it was so creepy. Like, he would look at her through her windows. Like, watch her through her windows. It was like stalker. Yeah.
Some deranged weirdo.
Yes. And then like he constantly showed up to the place where she was a dancer, and like if somebody took her back for a private dance when she was done, like he would, and it was like,
so he let them get the dance and then killed them.
Yeah.
Like, so their last memory is.
And
am I wrong in thinking that's a little backward?
yeah, because he wanted to believe that she was this absolute sinner. Actually, he needs to kill her too, but it's like he's got these feelings toward her, and it's weird. It's so weird, and part of it might have also been, I mean, think of the Hunchback of Notre Dame and that priest. He looks weird.
Yeah.
It like, he looks old. He looks like
If this was a movie, this would probably have been categorized under like thriller horror.
Yeah.
As opposed to dark romance.
Yes. Yeah. It
because
just felt weird.
I can see this being an episode of Criminal Minds.
Yes.
Being like, we can't find a connection between all these serial killer murders going on over here. And then they're like, it's always this one stripper. And it's a one guy who wants her all to himself. And then they like attack him because he's a killer. And she's horrified because she didn't realize this was happening. Not that they end up together.
Yeah.
So he's still a priest?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and he finally, like, there was one night where he was like, I gotta leave her. I gotta get myself away from this situation. But he goes and visits her room one more time and like is looking through her window. She sees him as she's getting undressed, and she gets completely undressed, comes to the window, and they have like this moment where like their hands are up on the window together and they're like looking into each other's eyes. It just felt weird. It just felt
So how do they
weird.
fall in love?
It's just a ongoing thing, and I don't think it's love.
Because I don't
it's just
think
lust.
you would find the guy who's looking in your window and be like, that's who I want to do it with for the rest of my life.
Yeah. No. Like, obviously, they encounter each other, like, throughout the day and stuff, and whatever, too. It's just he stalks her at night, and it's weird.
So did she meet him in the daytime or meet him through the window at night first?
In the daytime.
That makes it a little better.
But still creepy.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop it being creepy.
But if you already had the vibe, I could picture it, I guess, a little more.
I would never, but I can see it.
I guess, but
This man would have to be just drop dead, the perfect
Like
looking
that
person
AI picture
ever.
of her sand.
yes. And that's the thing. I could not picture that. I was just picturing the priest from the cartoon movie.
Should we picture more like the priest from the Mindy Project?
I don't know.
You should find that.
Okay. Last thing on this one.
Okay.
I think I said I said it in the Build a Boyfriend episode. I like knowing a man would kill for me. Mm-hmm. I don't like a man that just kills.
Yeah.
They're at the end of the book. It's not sexy, but they're at the end of the book. They have both decided that is like a date night activity for them. They're
They're just serial killers.
Basically. And that's their way of like,
because the whole, if I want a guy that would kill for me, is I like that I have
Protective.
that control.
Yeah.
yes.
To be like, yeah, take him out. But not just because he didn't do anything, but like because they're trying to hurt you.
Exactly.
I could totally kill him myself, but I shouldn't have. It's
Right.
the same
Yes.
vibe that you get with a woman should know how to change a tire on a car, but a woman should never have to change a tire.
I can kill somebody, but I shouldn't have
That
to
should
because
be
my
the
husband
vibe.
will do it for me.
Yeah, I'm strong enough to murder you.
Yeah.
But why would I get my dress dirty?
Exactly. So
Not you just started asking people behind my back. What if I
Yes.
had loved one of those guys?
Yeah.
What if that was a free dance on purpose?
And
You don't
so
know.
I just, it felt icky. I felt gross afterwards. It was not a fun feeling. It was, and it wasn't a good book on top of that, like a good written book. Like yours,
Yeah.
at least it was,
Yeah.
you were supposed to feel
Yeah.
the way that you felt.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I gave it a 1 out of 5. It's 3.72 overall. That's too high again.
4.72?
3.72.
Oh, I was like, girl.
But it's still too high. For the record, I do like 3 of the other books that I've read.
Yeah.
And one
Yeah,
was
I
like
enjoyed the 2
yeah.
that I've read.
I'm loving Hexed.
Yeah.
Other than this, yeah.
Definitely give the rest of them a try.
Yes,
This is
yes.
Possibly a fluke.
Yes,
So.
I really do think that it is.
Hooked has some crazy lore in this friend
Yeah,
group.
it does. Hooked has some crazy lore. Scarred was really good. Wretched was fine. The 4th one was really good. But this one just flopped for me.
Yeah.
So that was my number 1 worst of 2024.
Yeah.
So don't read any of these books. And if some of these were your favorite, maybe try giving other things a shot.
If you read them, read to hate with us, please.
Yes, please. We've got a few that are on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
So don't waste your money. Don't waste your time.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, it might be your cup of tea, but do better if it is. So but let's see. What were some of your worst reads of 2024?
Yeah.
Because I'm very
I
curious.
need to avoid a lot of books.
Yes, I'm very curious on what I need to avoid, or let's start a conversation, because who knows, maybe one of my favorites is on your
Yeah.
least favorites of 2024. That's the beauty of books. That's the beauty.
Or maybe
So-
you're smart enough to explain one of these books to
Yes.
us, and we'll like it when we know what we're talking about more.
Explain The Road,
Normal people, maybe.
please.
I don't want to hear about normal people anymore.
We're done with that one. Explain The Road to me.
I feel like I missed something.
Yeah. So drop us a comment down below, or come find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, The Unfinished TBR. We have an email, theunfinishedtbr@gmail.com. And we are on YouTube, and we're on Spotify. And let me tell you, we try to post something new every single day. So you might as well come hang out with us. As a final reminder, we are going to be letting you know what our book club is going to be. Next week, you will get that information. So it's already past time to be included. We're already going to be drawing it. So sorry, you've missed your opportunity. But whatever is picked, let's read along together at the end of March. We haven't set a firm date yet, but we'll let you know before it's time. So come hang out with us. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.